We begin chanting Om together 5 times. Take a moment to establish your center. In your spine, open your shoulders, your heart. Find the center in your breath. Find the center of your mind. Then focus at the base of your spine. Inhale deeply. Heart center. Brain. Inches. Beyond. 'Be still. Observe the vibration inside, beneath your breath. Keep your attention fixed at one point. Heart center, center of your brain. And then forget yourself completely. Just for a moment. From one side, it looks like forgetting myself. From the other side, it looks like remembering the whole universe. When you're in tune, your body feels very light. Bodilessness, like floating, like swimming in the air. Also your heart, emotions feel very light, not heavy, but very light. Mind also very light. This is the sign of in tune. Then we become more quiet, more subtle. Automatically the mind is changing gears, changing rhythm in the state of in-tuneness. So that's why we stress the importance of cultivating this state of in-tuneness. It's a poise, not a pose. It's a poise, a rhythm. Like you comb your hair. You have to wash your hair and comb your hair. It becomes very smooth and soft. In the same way, you have to comb through your nervous system, this tension, vibration, emotion that's caught in your breath, in your spine, the pressure. Then this becomes also very beautiful, very luminous. It's good that we take care of the surface of our body, but not enough. Not enough for the peace, inner happiness. So, you can learn to do anything. You can learn any kind of complicated. It's like ski slalom, jumping in the skis and jumping out of planes and off of the mountains and hitting balls into holes and all kinds of things. So imagine we can't do the basic training, establish strong foundation of being present. At least it's worth a try. We didn't get that kind of education from our parents or in the school or in the church or synagogue or mosque. To be present is different activity than doing or thinking or planning. And so if we train the basic mechanics of presence, the same if you train how to dribble basketball, how to catch the baseball. At first it's a bit awkward. But you do again and again and again and again. You don't need to study aerodynamics and physics and anything. You just throw the ball, you catch the ball. You throw the ball and catch the ball. And sooner than later, you don't even think about it. It's just natural, part of the natural flow. So we want to establish this habit of being grounded, present, alive, in tune, at home. To be at home, this is happiness, this is peace. So at home, moment to moment. Then we can train for that. The same like a musician is training, the same like a dancer is training, the same like the sports players are training. However, for some reason, no one applies this same, not no one, this is the traditional path that's passed down from the yogis for thousands of years, but in the modern time, it's kind of like do what you feel like whenever you feel like kind of thing. Take a class once a week or something. That's like taking a painkiller or something. It goes away for a moment, the tension, but it's not reaching the deep level, the habit level, the underlying rhythm. It's this underlying rhythm which is producing all the thought and fear and the tension. So we don't need to deal with this thoughts. We need to work with the subtle rhythm beneath the thoughts. You can't outthink your mind. You have to go to a deeper level. So working with the breath and the subtle pressure and your spine. Spine is most important. Stillness is most important. At first it seems like unnecessary or some kind of exaggeration or torture or something, some combination. But when one is alive, then the spine is naturally like, your spine naturally is like a tree. You know, it's not wilted and drooping and like this. Is the prana, the life force, the breath is supporting you, and the spine is activated. This is necessary to maintain a healthy biochemistry, healthy hormonal rhythm, to awaken the spine. And this, in the process of awakening the spine, because as Westerners we grew up sitting, slouching on couches and stuff, massage is important. Massage, steam, sauna, cold plunge, acupuncture, inversion, hanging like a shoulder hang and also inverted hang from the feet. Different things to train your spine, to get the life to reactivate your spine. Because now we have the habit, it's all compressed, organs are compressed, not flowing in a smooth, harmonious way, the geometry is off. So the brain is affected, and the whole rhythm, the breathing, everything. So it's not a question of good habits or good manners. It's a question of, looking good for others. It's a question of proper functioning of the organism, biological and then subtle organism. And so anyway, we're sitting down most of our lives. So we can take each day, we can do. Not when you're doing your practice, but when you're watching TV or working, then come into your stable sitting posture for however many minutes you can do. If you can do 14 minutes, then do it. Do it like 3 times a day, 4 times a day, whatever. Anyway, you're sitting down. So then it becomes a kind of integration with the practice. And then if you do it every day, then for sure after a few days or a week, you can do 14 and a half or 15 minutes. And then you can do 16 minutes, 20 minutes, like that. Retraining your muscle memory, repatterning your nervous system, your way of breathing, your focus. It has to be, you have to remind yourself again and again. Otherwise we get swept away. So like a sports player that warms up before playing the sport, if we take a few minutes each morning to warm ourselves up, what is myself? Blood, organs, nervous system, cells, chemistry, breath. No? So the whole integrated system, my willpower, my aliveness, all this, it's a kind of meal. It's a kind of like turning a switch on. If you don't turn the switch on, it's kind of more mechanical. But if you take a little time each day with yourself, by yourself, for yourself, which itself is the great act of love. It's not even like you have to, buy yourself roses, but just making space for yourself and then sitting with yourself and breathing with yourself. This is self. This is embodiment of love. So we don't need to, we need to be love. It's not about like finding love, but you become a channel of love without knowing it, especially. It's not a trying. It's a natural flow. So what we're talking about is coming back to the natural state. We have to remember how to be natural. And so the recommendation is 2%, about 30 minutes. That's the minimum, right? You can do, only 15 minutes, and start with 15 minutes. If you can do every day, 5 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of breathing, 5 minutes of stillness. Right? If you insert this in your daily rhythm, then for sure it will work at a deep level. Right? We're breathing every moment. We have no idea the effect of breathing, the subtle, what's going on with breathing, thinking, our energy level, thoughts, emotions, circulation, all these things. All of this is connected. And so if we can master our breath, then we get so much more out of life. And so it's worth at least trying. At least we should try. It's like playing tennis, and for whatever reason you're just not holding the racket right, and you always swing it wrong. It's like it's worth trying. We have to at least give a real effort for a couple months, I'd say, 3 months, 3 to 4 months, to really train to work with the breath, which for sure this is the most important resource. More than food, more than water. Without breath, there's no life. You're breathing every moment, waking and sleeping. The summer, winter, good times, bad times, every moment is breathing. So, like a violinist who masters the bow, or a trumpet player who masters their breath, for sure, if we can deepen our connection with the breath, this is deepening connection with life. Breath is life. Life is a breath. And so the breath is the key to this aliveness. So 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And you'll know for sure. Even after a week you should know. But you do recommendation 100 days. 100 days of fixed practice, same time, every day, 100 days. If you have to change the time slightly, you can, but better that it's like creating a groove. Otherwise, all over the place, difficult to control, impossible to control. That's why always the teaching from the yogis, that your practice, your daily practice, you do the same thing in the same order. Because you're not doing the practice. It's not like practicing for performance, but the practice itself is coming home into yourself, is decluttering, is organizing, is the releasing, is creating space. That's the practice. The pose is just the surface. That's not the point. The goal is not the pose. The goal is to be deeply grounded, rooted, present, at home within yourself. And when you're deeply grounded, at ease, present, at home within yourself, then you're not thinking about yourself. No thoughts about myself. Because you're being yourself. Natural, spontaneous, wild. This is the state of presence and aliveness. No amount of thinking about yourself will bring you closer to yourself. Questions? What do you think of ayahuasca? So we have different medicine for different types of illnesses. Diarrhea, certain type of plant we're taking, or pill. Constipation, different one. We have a headache, we take something. So when your ego is tied in a knot and you're disconnected from yourself and you can't feel the aliveness in nature yourself and the present moment, then there's a medicine, plant medicine, certain different medicines all around the world, and people who were entrusted with administering that medicine in a certain ceremonial or healing context. So for sure, I have utmost respect for all the plant medicine, for all the medicine. And most people probably could do with a dose of plant medicine at least once or twice a year. Like a cleaning, like fasting once or twice a year, important. Go on retreat once or twice a year. Go into silence once or twice a year. So the plant medicine will break open the tight, serious structure of the ego and thrust you into the communion with the life, nature, whatever we call it. And it helps to repattern the nervous system and brain. Lots of studies on this. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely more traditionalist. Nowadays, there's a lot of people administering medicine all over the place and this and that. You know, traditionally, it's not just about drinking the medicine, but it's about the dietas. It's about the preparation. It's a whole purification that takes place over an extended period of time. It's partly through fasting and taking different types of purifying herbs that allows the medicine to work in us. So it's a whole synergy. It's a whole science. And now it's a whole business, big business. Question, with so much negativity in the world, how can we remain calm and positive? Some family and friends want engagement in their sadness and want us to join it. We always want people to join us in our sadness or our anger or our emotions. So, a small tree, a sapling, is very, sensitive, very fragile. A small thing can blow over, can knock it over, anything. But once it grows into a big tree with deep roots, they say you can even tie an elephant to the tree and the tree won't move. So what we need is deep roots. We need to be deeply grounded, rooted within ourselves, within the present moment. And what is the present moment? The present moment is everything, everywhere at once. It's not my little sliver of space, and it's not like, oh, my body in this room. The present moment is everything, everywhere, at every level. At the micro, at the macro, all at once, one big gulp. So it can't be known. It can't be perceived. It can't be conceived. And so the present moment to be grounded in oneself and the present moment first, we have to deal with our own negativity. Maybe there's negativity in the world, probably, right? But what about our own negativity? For sure, that's affecting us more. No, it's coloring everything we see and we do. Our negativity, that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. And then we project on others and so on and so forth. So this is, if we deal with this one, then we'll see everything clearly as it is. But as long as we have this idea that I have to fix this and do this and change this and do this and this, and that over there, the goal is over there, the purpose, the real deal, the real me is over there, not here. Then we're living anyway. Our positivity is just a fake, is just like a fake story anyway. It's not real. It's not. We're not grounded in that in life, in presence. So we just hope it's going to get better. Yeah, the oceans or whatever, the things and the GMO and all these things. No, I mean I think part of the trouble is we know too much, but we don't know what's going on in our own life. We don't know what's going on around us in our immediate vicinity, but we have all this information about things going on somewhere else, and so then we lose ourselves in the information about other things that there's no direct relationship. And so in that situation, it's impossible to be calm. We can only be outraged, because it's feeding all the news, and everything is all this war and everything. But the real war is inside us, inside our minds, inside our hearts. So we deal with this one first. How to do it? By cultivating deep roots. Clean. Every day you wash your mind. Every day you wash your clothes. It's good. Lots of dust, sweat, dirt. But what about our minds? What about your mind? What about your heart? How often should we wash? How often do we wash our hands? So how often should we wash our mind? Maybe before eating we wash our hands. After eating too, we can wash our hands. After we go to the toilet, some people before they go to the toilet. So maybe we need to wash our minds a couple times a day. Actually, I don't know. You have to figure out what's the right amount. How often should I wash my hands? How often should I brush my teeth? How often should I clean my heart? How often should I clean my mind? And food, it's not just eating, stuffing things in our face, but we have to see that part nourishment is to be in nature. We have to be in nature, to walk in nature, to breathe with nature, to listen to nature. The colors, the light, everything. This is not an extra. It's actually one of the essential nourishment at a cellular level, at a vibrational level. creativity is essential nourishment. It's nourishment. It's a meal. It's not a side thing or a hobby or something. It's the essence of life. I'm not talking about like making something and selling it on Etsy, but just like to allow the creative juice to flow through writing or color, dance, or many ways anyway, making space for that. That everyone says they give importance to their health, but nobody is making space or time for what's important. Do you always need to forgive people to move on? What if forgiving feels impossible? Forgiving is you're not forgiving the person, you're forgiving yourself. You're just releasing them from your energy field. The person doesn't even know, they're not affected by it. It's only affecting yourself. The forgiveness is not for the other. There is no other person. There's only one's own mind. So it's like letting go of that. But the way, yes, there is a way. There is a way. And you do it every day. Every day, you eat food, right? Well, you remember, what did you have for lunch 3 weeks ago, Or what did you have for dinner 4 months and 2 days ago? Was it good food? Was it bad? You forget it. You eat it, and you forget it. You digest it, right? And then most of the food is waste. You get rid of it. You only keep a very, very, very small part, the essence, and then that becomes you. So you don't have to consciously remember. You are a product of that. This is this process. So in the same way, every day, all these things, immediately you digest it and then you shit it out. And you trust that it's become your body, it knows what to do. Your body knows how to digest. Most of us now, our digestion is compromised. But technically, all the animals, all the species, their body knows exactly how to digest whatever they're doing. In the same way, that same intelligence that's digesting your food knows how to digest the life experience also. There's only one intelligence. In the seed, you have this perfect intelligence that's grown to an orange tree, little by little. Then it produces a flower, a fruit. Then I take the orange, ripe orange, squeeze the juice, drink the juice. We have delicious vitamin C and orange. That intelligence and power and energy and life is contained within the seed in invisible form. That you are a product of that same intelligence. So we simply have to allow the infinite intelligence of the universe, which is the only thing that's happening everywhere, anyway. So it's like kind of like getting out of the way a little bit. So that's why I always talk about forgetting, because everyone's asking, what's the purpose of my life? Everyone's looking for the purpose, but it's the opposite. Your life doesn't have a purpose. You are the purpose of life. You are the purpose. You are the flowering of life. Each flower unique. Each individuality is life expressing its purpose, living its purpose. So to be yourself is the purpose. It's not that your life has a purpose. It's not like a perfect story where there's a crescendo and a savior and a this and that. We're stuck in Hollywood. It's not some like future, like big, like a secret hiding thing. Wow, I discovered it, my purpose. Every moment, every day is your purpose. It's not your purpose. You are the purpose of life. Life has the purpose. You're nothing. Who am I? Nothing. This is life. So I am the purpose of life. I am the expression of life. Each moment, every moment. It's not a career. Imagine, you asked this question 100 years ago, no one would ever say career, have any idea about any career. Ever. So, the easy way, the fast way, you forget yourself. I mean, the more we obsess about ourselves, it seems like the more difficult it gets. So, the child is not obsessing about themselves. The child is not obsessing. The child is very natural, not remembering, not holding on, not judging. Not judging because not thinking. As soon as you're thinking, it's impossible not to judge. Thinking is always judging. Awareness is no mind, no words. So you have to train to rest in awareness, at least a small percentage of the day. You can think 90% of the day, but awareness 10%. Which one sounds good? You have to decide what percentage it should be. Not thinking is not like a stupid, like you become a stupid person, like a bird with the head in the ground. It's not avoidance. It's a contained power. And then when the energy is needed, immediately your mind, the thinking, or your body, like the animals, totally still. And from that depth of stillness, then there's a contained power. But constant thinking is just like putting the pedal and spinning, burning the engine constantly without getting anywhere. Or is it getting somewhere? Can we think our way out of this situation? Can we think our way to happiness? Has someone thought their way to happiness? Has someone thought their way to peace? Or thought their way to being themselves? It would seem not. If someone had, we would know for sure. We could follow the same instructions. So it would be silly to try to get something where it's not there. So I can promise you, if you become very still and slow your breath and stabilize your mind and enter into that space beyond time, immediately you feel the wave of peace and bliss, like when you take MDMA. Because that is in your brain. The same way that we're making bad chemicals with our everyday, that's creating fear and anxiety and all these emotions, we can create the chemicals of joy, of bliss. This is the alchemy, the inner alchemy. What is your take on how to choose a life partner? First, I think, if possible, one must choose oneself. One must work on oneself to clean one's body, heart, and mind, to establish a stable nervous system and rhythm and depth of presence, Because if we choose based on our attachment and fear and all this trauma and our parents and this, then probably not going to be a good choice. Or maybe that's what's needed. Is it supposed to be good? Every moment's supposed to be good, or do we get what we need? Angry at God when life is not good? So it's tricky. Anyway, you'll get what you need. Don't overthink it. The main thing is that we're overthinking our lives. You have to be wild. Be wild. Be wild, be organic. Be spontaneous. Spontaneous means that not even you know what you're going to do. That's the real spontaneous. It's too, and then otherwise, there are too many plans, too many expectations. It's going to be like this, and I need this, and I want this, and everything like this, that. Then it's impossible. We're stuck in an impossible simulation. So best is to be yourself, be wild, be free, nourish your heart, dance, be creative. And when you feel alive and at peace within yourself, then you can recognize that in someone else. But if the relationship is born from fear or from like out of this need or like that, then, but anyway, it's going to be good. Whatever is going to be good. Whatever, you'll get what you need. But in order to really learn the lessons, it's important to stay in shape. That's why we recommend the daily practice, because it speeds up the process of evolution. Otherwise, we get in some situation, relationship, or whatever, and then it plays out for like decades, right? But if we're doing the sadhana, whatever it is, good or bad, in the end, good and bad are both good, because we have to learn from both of them, actually. There's no good or bad. The lessons we get are invaluable. Do we get a choice in the good or bad situations? This is one of the focus of Buddhism, this akusal, and kosal. This. So I can't control the world around me. I can't control the weather. I can't control other people. I can't even really control myself. I can't control myself. So better just that I can learn from everything. From the good and from the bad. But the problem is when we're indecisive and stuck. That's why you have to do the daily sadhana like a warrior. You have a strong willpower. And then immediately, when you have that inner knowing, you act on that inner knowing. And then that will guide you. But it's going to be one step at a time. Namaste. Question. How can we let go of our egos and stop looking at everything in life like it's a competition? In a world without being of the world. You have to die. You have to die to yourself each moment, die to the past. This is all the sages, all the yogis, all the enlightened masters talk about this death, the ego death, or the real birth. The death is the birth, is the birth, is the death, is the birth. And so, but it's not like me living in the world. It's life expressing itself through all the different forms. Life is dancing in the river, in the tree, in the grass, in the vegetable, in the human, in the cells, in the blood. But it's not about me. That's the thing. We have to see it's not about me. There's no answer. There's no answer. What am I going to be? What should I do? There's no answer. It's not about me. And so, when we see it's not about me, then life can flow naturally. Then we can be more natural. We can be more playful. But if we have an idea, then we're trapped in that idea. Am I in the world or on the world or underneath or behind? Which direction? And then when I go to sleep, that person in the dream, where's that one? You know? So It's too complicated. Look, you go to the libraries, university libraries, so many books. And still, we don't, it's just information. This, what you call your body, I call this me, right? This is me. This is me. Do I know this? Do I know my body? Do I know what's going on right now in my leg, in this cell right here? This is what my blood is doing right now? Do I know that I have a kidney? Where is it? Do I know what it's doing right now? In this moment, how it's doing, what it's doing? No, never. Even if I studied biology and I took pictures of myself every day for the next 50 years, I still would have no idea what this thing I call myself is actually doing in this moment at all, not the slightest. I have a little bit of abstract information at best, if we're honest. My brain, do I understand anything about my brain? The different parts, where it's, how it's going, the language, everything? Nothing. How the information comes, nothing. Let alone what it's doing now. So if I don't know anything really about the thing I call myself, how can I possibly know anything about this world? How is it possible? There must be some misunderstanding. We must have some misunderstanding somewhere. How to get over death of a loved one. There are skilled people, the same like for transitioning into the world, we have doulas or midwives. We also have death doulas or death midwives, right, who are very skilled in this most important transition. This is inevitable. We're hiding from death and we're hiding from life. We can't, and this was also like not part of the culture 100 years ago. Death was very much accepted. Death is not evil or wrong or bad or something. This is impossible. Imagine, you can think life without the death. All this topsoil, all the plants are born from the death, the ocean, our cells are dead, everything is life feeding on life. You want to remove death? It's impossible. So we have to embrace death as part of the flow of the dance of life. I'm speaking just in general terms. Because if we have our view of the world is misaligned, then it can affect quality of our life. And so the death, this for one, they say every day when we go to sleep is a death. Every exhale is a death. And so by embracing death, then we can also embrace life. We can be truly alive. We can be fully alive. If we live a full life, then I think probably easier to embrace that for loved ones or ourselves. Maybe never easy, and depends on circumstances, so many circumstances. So that's why it's so important to stay in shape, because life is going to throw this, essentially everyone we know, everything we own, everything we know right now is going to be gone. We'll lose it, or it will lose us, or something, without any question, no question. And so to pretend otherwise and build up all of these armor and stuff is not going to, in the long run, is going to be very detrimental. So this is why the old priests and monks used to keep skulls on their desks too. Not to remember what they call impermanence. That we're caught in this idea of permanent. We want it to be permanent. But that's absurd when we understand the cycle of life and flow of life. So death, the question of death is at the center of all the traditions, spiritual traditions. And it should be part of our training for life. In some tradition, they say all of life is training how to die. I got to see the most beautiful thing. My father-in-law he died at home, at the home where my wife was raised, just next to the old center. No medicine, no doctors, no diagnosis, just like, it's his time to die. And he went head first. The whole family was there, like 30, 40 people for 3 days straight, massaging his arms and legs. People were chanting, they were making food. Everyone knew what to do. Everyone was in the zone. No one was like weeping or sad or anything. It was like everyone together. And it was so beautiful. I'd never seen anything like that. So I think we can't, I mean, yes, others and ourselves, but if we live with dignity and then we die with dignity, I think we have to embrace it. No, the seasons is death. The winter is death. This is. So whatever process around that, I think the death doulas are very good. I would recommend. I mean, I would definitely work with death doula. Because who knows? It's an unknown process. Now it's not part of our daily life. In Cambodia, it's still part of their life. They're living that. They know what to do, but we don't know what to do. So the more we can inform ourselves, it will be useful, not only when we leave our bodies or when another one leaves their body, but it will allow us to live our life more fully. And it's not a question of getting over, right? What are we're trying to get over something? No, it's just like we integrate, you know, and to feel. I mean, for sure, we have to feel whatever emotions or sadness or grief, whatever it is. Crying is so good. Everybody always apologizes for crying, but crying is incredible. It's like laughter. We need it. It's cleansing the nervous system and nourishing, awakening the heart. And what I discovered in this last year is that actually, tears of sadness is just one kind of tears, but we have tears of beauty, tears of gratitude, tears of like truth, tears of so many different types, so many subtle types of very beautiful tears, very uplifting. And so any experience in life, we have to digest it. So through creativity, through silence, through journaling, through talking, through listening, through feeling, through breathing, through ayahuasca. But it's not about getting over. It's like getting in. We don't get over life. We need to get into life. We need to be in, not like on the sidelines. What do the Khmer staff think about meditation? Do they meditate or have their own practice? And if they don't, do you encourage it? So in Cambodia, it's Theravada Buddhists. So they have the Vipassana tradition, which is slightly different. I mean, it's a certain meditation practice. Most traditions of Vipassana are teaching some kind of anapanasati, or breath awareness. In general, in Cambodia, meditation and Buddhism is part of their society. Once you've raised your family and you're like 40 or whatever, 50, you shave your head if you're a woman and you join the pagoda. And they don't live there, but they just kind of like, they're all the time going every day and doing chanting and stuff. And so meditation is seen as something kind of for old people. That's changing a little. But really, Cambodia is just coming out of a time of really subsistence. Like, and still, many people, I mean, their monthly salary is not enough to cover their expenses. So they're not, it hasn't taken so much. Now we're starting to spread the word more. In Phnom Penh, you have this many like entrepreneurs and people that are starting to focus on development, like this kind of development, and now they're getting more stressed. And so I think there's a place for mindfulness and for meditation and awareness within this kind of new class of like, that are going to be leading the country through the development and through the arts and stuff. But the people living in the village, like for them, meditation's like the kind of just like, not a like, the older people do it and the younger people are like, remember the telenovelas where it's like they're sitting there and like seeing like ghosts and these things and stuff. So it's kind of, our staff, I don't force anything on anyone. Before we had classes, now they don't meditate. They don't meditate. We should do something though. Back in the days, before your journey, how did you feel before you embarked from home? That was a long, long time ago. The journey must have started when I was 6 or 7. I didn't feel at home then, though. I felt like this is not home. What's this strange people? In the East Coast of the United States of America. And then I left for Quebec and I was 18. I moved to Montreal 5 years, then moved to Brazil. Then I lived in the community 3 years, and then I moved back home for a year. And then I was in India, and then I've been in Cambodia 15 years. And along the way, I've lived in many different ashrams and the yogis. So the journey, I had that itch from a very young age. And I was very fortunate. I had a mentor when I was 14, John Brown. He was a student of Chogyam Trungpa's, and he was like part of this beat poet. He was a professor of literature, and he turned me on to Alan Watts and to Suzuki Roshi and meditation and breathing and mantra when I was 14 or so. And then it became a more conscious. Is there an interpretation for the things I see in my eyelids when my eyes are closed during meditation? Yes, can be. I mean, if it's different lights, it depends how the lights are moving, what color lights they are, if it's, if they're objects or, it would depend on what it is. But yeah, but it's not like, it's not, if you focus on that and it helps you to go deeper, then good. But it's not important. It's like the mind is releasing energy in this process of stabilization. And so, like some people see like the diffuse light or some ball of light or different things, different flashing. So as long as it feels good, then you can just focus on that if it helps you to go deeper. But it's not like I got to figure out the meaning. Like, oh, there was a snake and there was a river, and it must mean that I'm gonna no. It's not It's not a story about something. It's the energy moving. But we shouldn't. It's not. Again, we don't want to get caught up in a story. Very important. It's very tempting. It's very easy to get caught in a story. Oh, my meditation is supposed to feel like this. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be like that. I need this. This is missing. Everything. It's very tricky. Can you talk more about companies, partners, friends, and family? Main thing is I have to be myself. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they want. They don't even know. I don't know what I want, so they don't know what they want. I don't know about other people. I have to take responsibility to tune myself, to clean myself. Then I can show up, and instead of dumping my garbage on all the people that I love, I can say something nice. I can do something nice without thinking about it. Not like, oh, look, I'm doing something nice. But like without thinking about it, just because I'm being present. Otherwise, it's too calculated. It's too calculated. So this is why even to be myself is too calculated. That's the thing. That's why the only way to be yourself is forget yourself. Like when you're playing a sport. In the game, before the game, you're training. You train the drills and exercise it again and again and again and again. In the game, you forget it. You forget, you just get in the flow. You're not thinking about the play, you're just in the flow. So in the same way, we have to train to the point where we can just be in the flow of being ourselves. Spontaneous. Effortless mastery. Like the sports players. Okay. Okay. Lightning round. Back in the days, done. Do you all, done. Ha. Okay, here we go, multi-part question. Do soulmates exist? By soulmate, I mean that one person who is meant to be married to me. Where there are so many of them and you can choose one of them to get married to. So, in the same way that the purpose of life, every moment is the purpose of life. Everyone that you meet is your soulmate. Every meeting, every interaction is part of the journey. And even sometimes an interaction that happens just once or 1 hour or 1 day can be more impactful than a relationship of many years. And so we should never take for granted, because what happens is if I'm looking for my soulmate, it's never here, it's always somewhere else. And so then I'm missing everything, looking for some imaginary thing. So if the soulmate's coming, it's definitely going to be here. It's not somewhere else, wherever we are. And so it's more like when we activate ourselves at the soul level, when you open the doors and windows of your soul, not just like a guarded mind and like even emotions, but when you're active at the soul level, then you're attracting that to you. It's not just because, imagine, even if you found the soulmate, what does that mean? It doesn't mean happily ever after. You find your soulmate, it could be a, what do you call that, a narcissist. I mean, it's essentially everyone has these days. We're all crazy. So it's not like, oh, great. It's like, oh, God, I'm going to find my soulmate, and you go on this big quest, and then you find it, and it's done. No, that's where the real challenge begins anyway. So whatever, like, we need to prepare ourselves. You want a beautiful garden, you need to prepare the soil. If you have a good soil, whatever you put in the soil will grow. So when your heart is pure, when your mind is clean, then you can have a good connection with anybody. You can make anything. Then any moment will become the right moment. Then time is following you. You're not chasing time. But if it's this complicated story about the something and this, like that, and that in the future, it's going to keep you from life, which is here and now. Life is definitely here and now. It's like someone invites you to play basketball, and you get on the court, and they blow the whistle, and then the game is starting. The game is now. So when is life? Now. The game is now. It's an endless now. This one never ending. I've seen it. There's only one day. There's not a lot of days. There's not hundreds and thousands and millions of days. There's one day that's stretching infinitely. So, study the tapes from the past as much as needed, but in the end, more and more you center yourself here and now, the more you bring yourself to be present here and now, then this is where life is happening. This is the only possibility to smile, to be happy, to dance, to be peaceful. Is here and now, not in the idea about the past or in the idea about the future. Impossible. You can only smile here and now. You can only laugh here and now. You can only be real here and now, not in the past and not in the future. And the past, I have to say it, your idea of the past is not the past. Right? my idea, the past is everything that's happened everywhere. So I know a little tiny piece of something that happened in this little town and in my house. But even what I know and remember and weave together and is completely different from someone who's living with me. And so that little tiny fragment of the general knowledge and my preferences and religion and time, my idea of the past is not the past. And no one can know my idea of the past. And everyone has their own idea. So the past, what we call the past is not the past. It's just a little distorted fragment of nothing that I've woven together. And the future is the same. It's just a projection based on calculation probability of my experience. And each one has their own fantasy that they call the future, but my idea of the future is not the future. My idea of the past is not the past. And so all that leaves is the present moment. How do you keep always positive vibes? No. Not positive vibes, high vibes. It's high vibes. It's about dense, it's not about positive. Positive is false, is fake, like, oh, it's gonna be okay. I really hope, I think it's gonna be okay. No, it's this okay. Oh, Trump won, it's fine, it's gonna be okay. Like we're all holding out this, no, it's not, we're all gonna die, everything's gonna die, it doesn't matter. It's not, it's about the high means like, subtle, like you filter water, you have water with all these particles. This is gross. You put through different stages of filter, it becomes very fine, very pure. It's this kind of refined, it's refined vibes. That's what it is. It's refined vibes. It's not positive vibes. It's not, high vibes is it works in terms of waves, wavelength and stuff. But it's refined. You refine your vibes. The same way you refine your clothes. You can see people with refined clothes. Oh, nice clothes, right? But you can feel someone with refined vibes. Nobody's doing it. I don't know why. It makes so much sense to do it. Everybody's joining this club, the chess club, and the bait club, and people are playing pickleball, and they're doing everything under the sun, and miserable, and living miserable. They're miserable, disconnected from themselves. So, whatever. Last one. Oh yeah, the past, the future. Okay, last one. How do you keep your inner peace when there's so much chaos around you? Wow, this is really the topic for today. Around you, what are the molecules doing? What are the galaxies doing right now? The existence is chaos. It's not around you. I am chaos. I am existence. I'm not separate. We have to understand, I'm not separate from life. There's not life and me. I'm nothing. I'm just an expression of life. I'm another leaf on the tree. And so you don't keep it because you are that. No, it's not. Peace is what is to be myself is peace. So what does it matter? Anything else? The chaos or the this or that. To be yourself, you just be yourself. You don't worry about anything else. To be yourself means this is not like an obituary, like, oh, I'm like this and I act like this and I do this and I've done that. No. To be yourself means how to say, without thinking about yourself. So this is the practice. But it's not, you're not keeping the inner peace. You are that peace. It's refining, by refining the vibration, the breath, mind. Okay, enough talking. Take a moment to come back to center. Lengthen your spine. for no reason. Close your eyes for no reason. Look up for no reason. We have so many reasons. It's such a burden. So breathe very slowly. So slowly that you forget yourself. If you were to try to circulate your blood, you would only get in the way. If you would try to digest your food, you would make a problem. So, in the same way, stop trying to be yourself. We'll close chanting Om together one time. Inhale deeply. Om.